So understand what we could do. Around the world, say to Peru. We lie in bed till it's PM.
Hi guys, Samantha Jerring here, 2020 Olympia and IFBB Pro. I am so excited to be starting this YouTube channel. If you guys knew how long I've been waiting to do this, you would know. So basically now, this is a series leading up to the Olympia. This is going to be the first episode today, and you're going to be following me throughout the day, see what I do for my prep. We're currently in Sweden. I am from Sweden. I've been here most of my life, but I've also been living partially in the US. So we're going to be out there again now in 6 weeks, about 6 weeks out from the Oak as we're speaking. And yeah, so going to be really exciting to get back there. So I know there's probably some of you guys that have been following me for some time, but I know there's probably a lot of you that don't know really who I am. So when I started training about 8.5 years ago, I started training very seriously. From the start, I was a big fan of bodybuilding from the very get-go. When I grew up, I was heavily overweight. I was struggling a lot. I had huge issues with people getting at me about my weight, making fun of me, and it was just a very rough time, to be honest. And so when I started training, it basically just started when Instagram launched, and I saw this picture of Dana Lynn Bailey, and I was like, whoa, she's big. So I just kind of set my goal. I want you to look like Dana Lynn Bailey, basically. And so I went into the gym, and from the moment I stepped a foot inside that gym, I just knew it was my place to be. And I was like, I'm gonna work this out. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but like, I'm gonna figure this out. And since then, I basically just been training. About after a year, I competed at my first competition, which was also in the bikini division, and placed first. So basically after that, I was hooked. I was on it. So I competed in bikini for many years, and did my switch initially to figure just last year. So now we're all of a sudden competing at the Olympia, which is obviously huge, after the weekend in Alicante. So that's really exciting. And yeah, so yeah, I'm here with my Pepsi Max. This is what I'm currently drinking all day, every day. So I'm just gonna place it right here. Well, basically, so I was in Spain, I think it was about 3 weeks ago. I've been on cloud 9 ever since. So it's kind of hard keeping track on time, to be honest. But I was in Spain competing at I went first for the European Championships, as they called it, which was in Alicante, I think about 3 weeks ago. I went there and I won my class, and then later also the overall, and won my pro card. And so they arranged it so that there was also a pro show 2 days after on the Sunday, and I had the amazing opportunity to compete also on the Sunday and make my pro debut just 2 days later, which I did. And so it was an amazing show, and I'm so thankful for all the promoters, all the judges for putting that show on, especially now during a pandemic that we're currently in. It's been a rough time for everyone, and so it was just an amazing show, and that they actually made it that well during these times, just insane. So I went up there on the Sunday, did my pro debut, and I kind of felt like I really had no pressure because I already did what I came there to do. So I just went up there, had a lot of fun, was not even nervous at all. I really had no pressure, on myself, because I felt like, if I don't make it to the O, well, obviously most people don't make it to the O on their pro debut, so it wouldn't be anything, weird about that. So I just went up there, had a lot of fun, ended up actually taking the second place at my pro debut. Sorry about that. I took a second place at my pro debut and qualified for the Olympia. So I became a pro and an Olympian in 1 weekend, which has been, crazy. Let's just say crazy, because that's what it's been. It's been crazy. So, yeah, so the plans now, we're currently about 6 weeks out from the O. And so I'm just prepping myself, which is also definitely a learning curve, because I'm prepping myself. I do not have a coach. I do not have anyone but this girl right here. So I'm prepping myself for the O, and yeah, just learning stuff along the way, and yeah, basically just doing my very best to bring my absolute best package today to that stage, which is all I'm concerned about at the moment. So we're going to be flying out in about 4 weeks, and yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. So now we're just mixing my pre-workout. In Stockholm we take the subway, so I'm going to be bringing this on the subway and eat it as my pre-workout. So this is my typical pre-workout meal. I go for a cream of rice, and then in here we have some this is basically just a mix of protein, peanut butter. I typically opt between peanut butter or almond butter, and some sea salt. So this is what I eat, and basically I eat it because, well, my stomach just sits very well with it, and I just digest it really well. Typically cream of rice is just really easy to digest for the stomach. So that's basically what I eat. And so we're gonna just be prepping this and bringing it along. So I just mix this with water. Now this is kind of a process, and you know, you gotta have patience, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the cream of rice, because it does take a bit of time. And you know, a couple of rounds in and out of the microwave to make it smooth, because I don't want any lumps in my cream of rice. It's not my jam at all. Place it in the microwave a couple of times and swirl it around. Won't be needing this one. I'm gonna have it about 30 seconds and take it in and out, you know, a couple of rounds, just stir it in between. And then basically I'm gonna be mixing my protein and just bringing that along on the side with a little bit of water, and then just add about a teaspoon of peanut butter to make it a bit slower in digestion, because obviously it's gonna take a while for us to get to the gym, so I don't want it to burn up too fast. So that's the plan, and I'm really hungry, so that's why I keep checking the microwave. This is life on the road. Currently, I'm not famous enough to be having meal preps, so I have to do with what I have. So we're currently on the train on the way to the gym. We're gonna be working legs today, quads, so gotta get this food in, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to push some heavy weights in the gym. That's the goal, at least. So now we have the protein, we have the cream of rice, and most importantly the peanut butter. So I'm gonna be eating that. I'm really fucking hungry too, so bruh, let's get this in. Leg extension.
That's a good old leg press. We did some pre-exhaustion work. There's plenty of ways to be training. For me, a big part is staying intense, staying on it, keeping form, really stretching the exercise. I see a lot of people taking exercises and they're thinking that it's just about taking it from point A to point B. Really, it's about making it as hard as possible from A to point B. Now, with that being said, there's multiple ways of gaining muscle, multiple ways of getting diced as fuck. It's about finding what works for you, which exercises work for you. So this is how I train. Obviously, this is my YouTube channel, and now we're moving on to leg press. So let's go. So now this is what I'm starting out with. I'm just going to be trying to feel the foot placement, and basically just try to find my quads, or find. We did that over there. That was heavy as fuck. We're going to try to find what foot placement I want to be working with today. That can basically shift from day to day depending on a lot of things, how tight you are in the psoas and stuff like that as well. So for me, it differs from workout to workout depending on which muscle I want to target. Obviously not the quads, but yeah, so I'm just going to try to feel those out, and then we're going to be stacking on more weight. So this is probably warm-up set number 2. I typically opt for about, well, right now 7 or 8 plates per side. We're at 5 right now, so just working my way up to my working sets. It's just gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt bad. They hurt. And believe me, I'm tired. But this is what defines a champion from not a champion. This is what divides you from success to not success. This is not the time to be slacking. That's all you fucking need when you do it properly. Typically opt for a lower volume when I'm on prep. For me, it's easier to recover from. So I think it is for a majority of people. I do go through phases though where I do have higher volume sets. I really don't believe in you know, people ask me what kind of rep range I train between, and you know, it's really more complex than saying, you know, keep it low volume, keep it high volume. I think people respond to different things. I think there's a time and place for most things, and I think there are multiple ways to growing. So when it comes to bodybuilding, it's not necessarily black and white. For me, low volume tends to be easier for me to maintain during my prep because I recover from it a lot easier than from higher volume training. But I definitely have, you know, periods where I do have higher volume as well, so it depends. We're moving on to the second and last leg press movement. Now, for this one, the kind of arch that this machine has, I really like it because it kind of targets the upper part, that portion of the quad. I just think it really hits really nice in those insertions for me. So this is why I like this machine specifically. I tend to focus a lot on, you know, contracting that part of the quad that I really want to get in with these. I think kind of brings out the details really nicely. So a little bit more of a pump work, I would say, on this one rather than the leg press, which is my key movement basically for this leg workout. Now, at this point, it's like prep. The judges' feedback was obviously that, you know, I can't get too much leaner. So basically now it's a fine balance between maintaining size and, you know, not gaining any fat, just trying to stay basically where I'm at. So that being said, if I was to be slacking on the weights, I'd probably lose muscle, being on a deficit still. So I really need to put a lot of focus on keeping it as strong as possible and still keeping size, basically. So I don't really want to overwork myself either. So it's kind of that fine line between putting in the work and not doing too much. Because what a lot tends to happen is that when you're already done and then you have to keep on, you know, pushing and dieting more, then obviously, especially like in the legs, they can get, you know, inflamed and they can lose muscle, start to look kind of stringy. So I just want to really maintain my size in my quads. Because I think that's probably one of the highlights with my physique, especially, it's probably my quads. So I just want to really keep them big. So that's what we're doing now. You have to laugh at it because it hurts so fucking bad. This exercise looks pretty simple, but the stretch, because my stance is really narrow because I really want to try to push that knee slightly in front of the toe, or slightly as far as I can without hurting my knees. If you're a person that has knee problems, obviously this is not going to be a good option for you. But for people looking for maximum quad development, I say, you know, the whole no toe, you know, in front of the knee thing, it's just bullshit. That's what it's meant to do pure mechanically. This would be supposed to be driving in front of the actual toe. So unless you're an old fuck that has bad knees, go for it. You're gonna see a big change. Look at these sneakers, they're rough as fuck. Like I glued these yesterday. Now these shoes have been with me for about 3 years. I've made some solid gains in these shoes. You know, I was at the mall yesterday and I was like, I should probably get a new pair of shoes. And you know, I can only train legs and Air Force once, and they have to be mids. I can't train in low shoes. So I was thinking like I'm gonna get a new pair of these, right? But for some reason, you know, I went like, nah, we're just gonna keep it real. So these are my sneakers. They're broke as fuck. I probably glued them like, I don't know how many times. I tried to glue them yesterday too, and they're like not having it. But these ones have been me for 3 years. They've been solid as heck, and they're coming with me to Vegas. And that's it. So that was it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed following me on my quad session 6 weeks out from the O. If you would like, push subscribe. If you want to comment what you thought about the episode, I would really appreciate that. After all, I'm doing this content for you guys, and I would really appreciate if you just told me quickly what you thought about the episode, and if you have any ideas on, you know, what you would like me to show you on the series, I would really appreciate that. So thank you so much for following me, and I'm gonna be writing down what I did today, also down in the caption. So if you want to try out this workout, feel free to, and tag me in any post that you're gonna be posting if you do train this workout, because it hurts and it's an awesome workout. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for episode 2.